Hello everyone and welcome to the YouTube channel of CA Sansar. I am CA Neha Gupta and today we shall be discussing the income tax appeal before Commissioner of Income Tax under section 246A. Our focus would be on the procedure and the process to file the form 35 online. Now let us have a look at the table of contents that we are going to discuss today. Our discussion will be around overview of appellate forums, time limit for filing appeals, condonation of delay, orders which are appealable before Commissioner of Income Tax, appeal fees involved, signature to an appeal, the documents required before filing an appeal, and finally, the procedure of filing an appeal. As you all must know that the order framed by the assessing officer forms the base for our journey upwards. There are multiple appellate authorities involved. The first being the Commissioner of Income Tax Appeal, the second being the Income Tax Appellate Tribunal, the third being the High Court, and the fourth finally being the apex court, that is the Supreme Court. Now, there are various time limits on filing an appeal before all these forums that we have previously discussed. In case of CIT appeals, the time limit is of 30 days. In case of Income Tax Appellate Tribunal, 60 days. In case of the High Court, 120 days. And Supreme Court, 90 days. There can be a situation where an appeal, if is not filed between the time limit that we have discussed, the authority may admit such an appeal subject to sufficient cause being described by the assessee in his appeal. That is the concept of condonation of delay. Now let us put all our focus on the appeal filing before Commissioner of Income Tax. So the time limit of 30 days that we had discussed in the previous slides has some implications. Now let us see what are these implications. So in case the case where appeal relates to any assessment or penalty, the very important thing to notice, friends, is that the period of 30 days shall start from the date of service of the notice of demand. In case of appeal under 248, the period of 30 days shall start from the date of payment of tax. And in any other case, the period of 30 days shall start from the date on which the intimation is served. There are multiple implications of the points we have discussed. So let us take an example. We receive an order under 143.1 dated 2nd of June 2020. But it was actually received by us on 7th of June 2020. So the time limit for filing of appeal will run from 8th of June 2020 and not from 2nd of June 2020. Why? Because the day on which the order appeal is served to the assessee, that is excluded by computing the period of 30 days. Now let us understand the concept of condonation and delay. The income tax has given varied power to the Commissioner of Income Tax Appeal to admit an appeal which is filed beyond the period of 30 days. But the major important point to be noted here, friends, is that there should be a sufficient cause for the delay in filing the appeal. Only when that sufficient cause is made known to the Commissioner of Income Tax Appeal, it is at his discretion that he may even admit the appeal which is filed beyond 30 days. Now let us look at the appealable orders. Section 246A lists down various orders against which an appeal can be filed before Commissioner of Income Tax. All of these are visible on your screen also. But I would just like to discuss one very important point, that in case of a draft order passed under section 144C, the assessee has an option. He can approach the DRP to issue directions in such a case, or he can agree with the draft order and go on with passing of a final order. In case where directions are issued by DRP, the final order passed by assessing officer is not appealable before CIT appeal. It is directly appealable before ITAT. So here are some other orders which are appealable before the Commissioner of Income Tax. Now, There is also appeal filing fee which is involved, and there are certain preconditions to that appeal filing fee. It is dependent on the total income returned by the assessing officer. Total income is simply put the returned income plus the additions which have been made by the assessing officer. So in case where total income is less than 1 lakh rupee, the appeal filing fee is 250 rupees. Where the total income is more than 1 lakh but less than 2 lakh rupees, appeal filing fee is 500 rupees, and total income is greater than 2 lakh rupees, the appeal filing fee is 1000 rupees. And in any other case, say for example penalty, the appeal fee would be 250 rupees. Friends, one very important thing to note is that this is the total income returned by assessing officer. So in case it is a case where there is loss, then in that case the minimum fee prescribed only would be applicable, that is 250 rupees. The type of payment and challan details are visible on your screen also. Code 0020 for companies, 0021 for non-corporates. It would be filed under the self-assessment tax code 300 along with details of payment, that would be others. And please don't ever forget to mention the correct assessment year while filing your challan. Now, every appeal is also enclosed with the signature. From 1st of March 2016, e-filing at the commissioner level has been made mandatory for all those assessee who are required to e-file their return of income also. So these are various assessee, and correspondingly we can see who all can sign the appeal. For example, in case of an individual, the individual himself can sign the appeal, or a person duly authorized with the power of attorney or the wakalatnama can file the appeal. For a company, managing director can sign the appeal, or in his absence, any other director can also sign the appeal. So be the case for an LLP, where a designated partner can sign the appeal, or in his absence, any other partner can sign the appeal. Now, it is very important that before we proceed to file the return electronically, we should have certain documents in our presence. The first and foremost important document is the order against which we are filing an appeal. The second is the notice of demand that we must have received along with the order. Third, very important, is the fee challan that we have discussed in the previous slide. What are the fees required to be paid before filing an appeal? Fourth important thing is, friends, the grounds of appeal that we have to frame before filing an appeal. In case we want to put any additional evidence, then also we have to make out the list of the additional evidence that we could not or did not file before assessing officer, and the same we want to file now before the commissioner, that is under rule 46A. Also, we need to have statement of facts with us describing all the facts on which our case is based. And finally, the digital signature file for signing the appeal. All these documents need to be maintained in soft copy. Now, the very important part, the procedure for filing the appeal. As you all must be knowing that we have the e-filing portal, Income Tax India efiling.gov.in. This is what the portal would look like. Now here we would click on the registered user login here. All of you must have created your registered user login on the website. A screen like this would appear once you click it. You need to enter user ID, your password, and the CAPTCHA code. Once you have done this, then the e-filing portal would open, and it would have various tabs on the above side. Now, to e-file our form, we would go to the section of e-filing. In the e-filing section, we would select income tax forms. So this is the data that would appear. So please note, wherever there are orange rectangles you will find, these are the columns where the data is auto-populated by the system. We do not need to fill these. As per our details, the data will be pre-feeded in these columns. So the PAN number will be appearing here. We would then have to select the form, the assessment year, and the submission mode. Submission mode would be preparation and online filing. Assessment year relates to the year for which you want to file the appeal. And under when we select the form name, there would be a drop down list like this, where we have to select Form 35, that is Appeal to Commissioner Appeals. Once we have done this, it would automatically pop up that please select the relevant commissioner. So as per our jurisdiction, the relevant commissioner would already be feeded in there. We just need to click on the select button and we would need to click on continue. Now, this is friends form 35. Again, as I had mentioned, all these orange rectangles represent data which is pre-feeded in the form, which cannot be changed and which is linked to a permanent info like the name, PAN number, our address, email address, etc. Because it is e-filing, it is very important that in the column of whether notices communication may be sent on email, we put up a yes in that column. Now this is where we need to fill in all the data. First, we need to key in what is the assessment year in regard to which we want to file the appeal. We have to mention the section of the order against which we have appealed, like 143.3, 144, 147. Two very important columns that you always have to be careful while filing the appeal are the document identification number, DIN number. In every order issued by the department, you will find that there is a DIN number on the top of the order. Be careful while writing that same DIN number here. Second very important point is the date of service of order. As we had read in our previous slides, the 30 days period would start from the date that we key in this column. And after that, the department also wants to know in case any other appeal is pending before any other commissioner, we can simply write a yes or a no. Now, need to file the appeal details. There are two basic columns if the appeal relates to assessment or it relates to penalty. If it relates to assessment, then we will have to write the income assessed in the order by the assessing officer, the total additions that he has made to our returned income. In case of loss, the total disallowance of loss in the assessment order, amount of addition or disallowances, and very importantly, the amount of disputed demand. Yes, not the amount of addition, but the disputed demand. After that, there is a column for detail of taxes paid, whether a return was filed for the year for which we are filing the appeal, whether the due taxes have been paid, for which they will ask us the acknowledgement number of the original return, the amount of tax paid, and the date on which such return was filed. Now, very importantly, the statement of facts, grounds of appeal, and additional evidence. First, we have to mention the statement of facts in this column, as we had previously discussed that we need to keep all these with us before we start filing the appeal. The most important column here, which I have highlighted in red, is whether any documentary evidence other than the evidence produced during the course of proceedings has been filed. That is what we had discussed, the concept of additional evidence under Rule 46A. If there is any evidence like invoices or vouchers which we could not produce during assessment, and the AO has made addition because of non-production of these documents, we can file these documents now at the commissioner level by selecting a yes, and then we have to furnish the list of all such documentary evidence that we wish to furnish before the commissioner. After that, we need to file the grounds of appeal, every ground, issue-wise and section-wise. After that, very important that if there is a delay in filing the appeal, as you would remember, we had discussed the condonation of delay previously. So in case we are filing an appeal beyond the period of 30 days, then we would select the option yes. And then we will have to write the detailed reason, not exceeding 500 words, why though the appeal is filed beyond 30 days, but it should be admitted by the commissioner. Always remember, it is at the discretion of the commissioner. He may or may not admit such appeal, but generally, if we show a sufficient cause, the commissioner generally accepts the appeal. Also, we would have to key in the BSR code, date of payment, serial number and amount from the challan that we have already paid. Now again at the bottom you would observe that all these data is auto-populated, the address of the appellant, the country, PIN code, mobile number. It is only the email that you have to put in again. And when you are done with this, you have to click preview and submit. Once you have done this, the third tab would open, that is the verification tab, wherein you have to write the name of the appellant. In case of an individual, the individual. In case of a company, its managing director, and the place at which the appeal is being filed. So for example, the individual resides in Delhi, so he would write place New Delhi. After clicking on submit, you would see a window where they would give an option of attachments. So there are three options. Copy of order appealed that we have to attach in the first column, the notice of demand in the second column, and third is the column of any other attachment. What I would recommend you is that you make a merged PDF of the grounds of appeal, statement of facts, and challan, and any other Rule 46A application you want to give, or you have a application for condoning the delay in filing the return. Merge all these documents and attach these documents in the third column, that is any other attachments, so that the documents are also available with the Commissioner of Income Tax Appeal. After that, you just need to click on the submit button. And obviously, because we are filing an e-appeal, it cannot be manually signed. We need to upload a digital signature and submit. Once you have done that, your appeal will be successfully filed, and you would also receive an email from the department on your registered address that the Form 35 has been successfully filed. Friends, I hope you found this video interesting. If you have any queries related to filing of appeal before Commissioner of Income Tax, you can share the same in the comment box, or you can email them to casansar@gmail.com or to canehagupta15@gmail.com. We would be glad in assisting you in all your queries. Thank you so much for a patient hearing. And if you liked my video, please do subscribe to the channel CA Sansar. Thank you for watching.